Disco X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected. Why would you try to ever put me second? You're just another groupie to me. No, I'm out here single, and I need some real. Now I got standards, give a fuck how you feel. I'm out here single, tell me what's the deal. Now I got standards, give a fuck how you feel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Betting News Network. Excited to have you guys with us. Happy August the 18th. This is your afternoon espresso. Look at that. We got a boost man on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday with Mr. Adam Kaufman. We love to see it. Boss man in the house, Vsauce. My name's SPJ. Excited to have you guys with us right here on the Betting News Network to send you off into the Tuesday evening sun. Shout out to Beast McNeese down below pressing the ones and twos. We're going to have some fun with you guys for the next hour and a bit. Boost man, I'll let you go first. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I feel like I hear from you guys 1,000 times a day. I mean,
That's good.
There are now multiple group chats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a WhatsApp thread because, you know, one of the losers on the thread doesn't have an iPhone yet, and so everything gets lost in the messages. So we had to migrate. So it's just the constant activity. I almost had to message you guys because it was, I don't know, it was like 1 a.m. last night. The thing is still rapid fire. I'm like, guys, I don't know how to turn my notifications off. I'm going to bed. Stop. You got to chill. I got to be up in a few hours for a doctor's appointment. But listen, what people don't know, and I'm sure we'll talk about this, is just how raucous the chat has gotten in the wake of, as you revealed, the captaincy selection for the Betting News Fantasy Football League, which of course is teammates. So as I'm sure you explained yesterday, but I wasn't here with you, was you dressed all fancy in your suit, did the official drawing of 1 through 10, and then the other 10 people had to be picked. Obviously, you get your partner, and I came up dead last. And so as I said to the guys in the chat, all right, I mean, I'm the final captain. It means I got the final pick, which really means I don't have a pick. Just whoever falls to me, again, dead last. Who's the last kid picked at recess for dodgeball? And what wound up happening was all of you fools turned this into a popularity contest and just picked your friends or whatever. And I got PJ Glasser. I lucked into PJ Glasser, who, let me tell you, has been texting me on the side with such an effing chip on his shoulder.
Oh, I know.
So excited, so fired up about this. And so am I, because I got a dude who also knows ball. So I mean, we're coming for you is what it comes down to. You guys got to be worried about what is in front of you.
Yeah, way to spoil the teams. We will announce the rest of the teams on Thursday. But I'm glad that you
I had to give the one, man.
No, I'm glad that you're excited.
I thought I was getting Beast. I was waiting for Beast to fall to me.
I was just glad Beast didn't get
never
last.
falling to you. Not with me picking ahead of you, Adam. I was waiting there for Beast, but obviously I didn't get him either. Teams will be revealed when they are. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. And Adam, about all the chatter in the chat, I will say you are guilty of about 70% of it. Whether it's at 2 a.m., whether it's at 6 a.m. I swear to God, sometimes I sit there and I wonder. Adam doesn't sleep.
There's no
Adam's
sleep.
kids aren't like children, aren't infants, I think. So I don't know why he's in sleep. And then I realized
very, very much not infants. That is correct.
Always asking for bets, chat. We were wondering how we were going to keep this guy as active in chats after the World Cup. And I think fantasy football is the answer.
It also just is a good, like, you know, doing the draft yesterday was fun. We'll reveal the teams as Adam said, there is Mr. PJ Glasser and him. Shags is also paired up with Chris, which you guys found out on the timeline. So there will be little breadcrumbs between now and Thursday. Chat will also have their draft. We're doing the live duck race to drop their draft order for the chat league, and then we'll have our draft order duck race next week as well to get you guys excited. But I think the overall chatter, Adam, and the overall just excitement is just because football is back. Like football is back. We're getting back into the streets of football being here. And it's been cool because obviously I know last year you were in our fantasy football league and we had some fun with the league, but we've grown to the point of adding some more friends to the community and the more friends to the squadrons. And I'm super stoked to have the team aspect this year. I think it's going to be really fun. Chat, obviously, I know you guys are getting excited for your fantasy leagues. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played in a team league before, but super stoked to see what kind of frivolity that we will get into on the weekly as fantasy football is quickly approaching around the corner. So
I am curious. I don't know if you're going to delve into this at some point. So I have never done a tandem, a co-commissioner league. So this would be, obviously it's not unheard of, but it'll be new to a lot of us. But what is especially interesting is you had asked about doing, a live draft, a show for the people where this is happening. So when one, I'm curious how much time there's going to be between picks. Obviously that'll have to be decided, but also it's let's say PJ and I are on the clock. Do we have a side text going? Do we mute our mics and then hop on the phone with each other to try and fit? How is this working on a live stream where the tandem that is not in the same room or even the same, zip code or state? How are we figuring this out?
The dealer's choice, ownership, whatever you think you can best communicate with your ownership group the best way possible, while also, being live for the people, whether that means yelling at PJ that this is the guy you want next accidentally or texting the group chat by accident the next guy you want. But I honestly think we're just going to leave it, right, SPJ, unless I'm
No, it's just funny because I was actually laying up last night before I was going to go to bed with the exact same thought of wait, we can't have all 20 people on screen due to technical difficulties with that. So how are we going to do this? So what we're going to probably end up doing is at least one team member has to be present on screen. So there will be 10 heads on screen. Now, then it is the responsibility of the other teammate to be present for the draft, or if you can't make, you can decide, as V's mentioned, whatever tandem wants to do what they want. If the other person's unavailable, then
let's not forget we got private chats back here right now, Adam. I just sent you one right now. Don't tell SPJ.
I don't even know how to find it. I don't see it anywhere on my screen. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun to watch the draft. As you said, it's going to be raucous. We'll have some more info. We will be doing it live, which is going to be really fun. We will also have, like I said, the chat league. You'll have your duck race to determine your draft order live. We're not going to do a live show for you guys doing your draft, but that'll be fun as well. But yeah, football's back. We got a lot of news to discuss today as well. We've obviously got some WNBA to get to. Sauceman and I got deep in the lab. V's got 6 plays. I've got 6 plays in the dub. So lots of dub to get to on a 4-game slate. Some baseball sprinkled in. And then we will do our continued segment of dubs and L's with the Super Bowl champs. We'll be diving into what's going to happen in Seattle this year if Sam Darnold and company can repeat their success from last year. So we got a fun hour in front of us. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're also getting really stoked. I'll say this, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll jump into some news. Really excited for everybody joining us in Chicago. A lot of us behind the scenes are obviously getting really pumped. We're doing a lot of fun content while we're in Chicago the weekend of September the 10th through the 14th. And we will have a meet and greet in Chicago on the 12th of September on Saturday. There will be a live Betspresso taping that we'll be doing as well. We'll have a lot of content with you guys. If you're in the Chicago area, we've already gotten DMs from some of you guys that are going to be making the trip. You got a couple of weeks now to get some tickets. It's not crazy expensive. And we'd love to see you guys, if you're in the area, come and pop by for some free drinks, some free food, some free merch, and come and hang out with us for the entire day on Saturday. Via and I will promise not to be too hungover.
Chad, don't you want to come bother Sugg? Don't you want to come show him some affection and make him really uncomfortable? It's one of my favorite things to do, Chad. Right?
The amount of hugs I'm going to be giving that man.
There he is.
All the hugs for
Beetlejuice. There he is, man. There he is.
And we're sad we're not going to get Boost Man, but I know that with a family and, unless the tickets are paid for, you ain't going to be there. But you'll be there in spirit with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a sponsor for my flight? That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. Well, you'll love us from afar. We also might have a DB sighting as well joining us in Chicago too, since he
Well,
does.
yeah,
You
if
know,
you're gonna do it in his backyard, he better be there.
he lives there. You know, one of those things. But excited to get more and more info for you guys about that very soon. So be on the lookout on the timeline for more information. I'm excited for the live taping too. It's going to be similar to what we did in at the Super Bowl, Adam, with our microphones. I've got the flags ready, the BNN flags ready. I'll get the mics loaded up. We'll be.
Who would have thought Super Bowl Media Row would be a crash course for you and how to do these shows?
Literally, I said the exact same thing to the guys. I was like, I've done this already by myself, and now I've got 6 of you to help me this time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna be a lot easier. I've got also Bisney bringing a bunch of tech. We're gonna have two cameras. Whew.
Show off.
Interns going all the way, and I love it. And you know what? This is why they're not interns anymore. This is why they've been upgraded.
How many members of the fam are you expecting there? Not obviously, viewers, listeners, chatters, but just BNN people.
About 10.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Yeah, approximately 6 to 7 for sure, and then Livers in Chicago joining the party as well. So yes, Beast, exactly. So approximately 10. I
don't think I've ever heard the phrase "livers in Chicago."
Chicago Liverers.
Yeah, residents, natives. No, livers.
I was wondering
livers,
what the hell that was too. I was like, wait, what? Like,
no, that is not for a guy that is voiced an audiobook. That is not proper English.
Did you go and listen to the preview of the audio?
Of course, I listened to the preview.
Did,
it was awesome.
Let's go.
You put a little accent on there.
Hell yeah, man! That's why I got. That's why I got the job. That's why I got the gig. All right, boys. That's enough fun for you guys. Let's get after it.
Sign off.
All right. See you guys later. Have a great rest
all
of your Tuesday.
The fun.
I know, Jeff. We'll diversify the portfolio, but we have way too many people that live in the Chicago area, so it would be sad.
You could have had Stifler there, me there, Slop there. I know.
Boston. Stifler wouldn't have showed up regardless. He's in Tampa,
Northeast Connecticut, or
Chicago.
Remember, I don't know. I'm sorry. I love Boston.
Northeast Connecticut is the most disrespectful thing that I have ever heard.
Also, you know that Boston's in Massachusetts, right?
This weekend, so I should keep my mouth shut. She loves that.
He may not. He is in Canada.
Do you know that Boston's in Massachusetts?
I know.
Right?
I fucked it up. I was thinking New England for a second, that entire area, and I was like, all right, fuck.
I thought you were referring to all of Massachusetts as Northeast Connecticut.
No,
he probably was trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm usually better with geography. I hope Shaggy's not watching.
Thank you. I couldn't get to the muting my mic fast.
Yeah, it was fine. You did great.
Thanks. I tried. Appreciate you, Ma. We're working on it. You go through peaks and valleys in this industry. There's growth, and then there's a bit of There's a little bit of back stuff, and then you get back to the growth again. I moved into my new house, guys. I'm in my new studio. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm in the new environment.
You're not up in the clubhouse anymore.
I know. Did I tell you the story? What happened to that house, Adam?
No, I just know that you had to get out in a hurry.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'll tell you guys real quick, chat, what happened, and then we'll jump into the news today. Moved into the new place. We were in our other place in the tree house, which was it was great, and I loved my little nook up top, except for the fact that so did brown recluse spiders as well. It was infested with brown recluse spiders, and luckily my wife and I figured it out before we moved all of our stuff in, so we were able to inform the landlords that we would not be living there anymore due to spiders.
That's awful.
Yeah, but we were lucky enough to find another place. Unfortunately, moving took 3 weeks longer than expected because we had to move out of one house back to our storage unit, and then / my mom's house for a little bit, and then back to this new house. But I am finally in my new place. We got our internet sorted. I'm in my new digs, and this is where you guys are going to see me now for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be having also a betting news little neon sign right over there above my head.
That'll be nice.
It'll be cool. Cool.
You're gonna start to sell those in the store for other people to have in their homes?
I can try. I don't think they have that within our within the store situation. We have a lot of cool stuff at the store though, chat. And go check that out. I forgot yesterday, boys, as well.
Professional segue right there.
Not my first time, baby. Bettingnews.com/store. Go check it out. We've got a lot of fun stuff there. We're gonna have some stuff for the giveaways that we're gonna do in Chicago. We're also going to be giving away today because I forgot yesterday, Beast. So scramble. You got about 30 minutes to figure out the Ducks, big dog. We're going to be doing the giveaway of our brand new football hat. Go check this out in the store. If you don't win today, you can go buy one.
That's nice.
Football's greater than. Don't ever forget. We'll be doing this.
Adam. Real nice.
Yeah, I'd wear that hat. That's a nice hat.
Adam's got some merch that he likes to wear every once in a while.
I got a couple right here. I'll show you. You can get these in the store. Let's see.
W plug.
I mean, you get just a nice
betting this one.
Yeah, little original cap.
I loved handing that one to you. That one was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I wear it all the time. I'm not wearing it right now, but I wear it all the time.
You're not wearing it right now? Crazy.
You can't tell. This one's a little bit of a relic, unfortunately, but it's still a nice hat.
It is a nice hat.
Great hat. The fit is not really nice.
Yeah. We loved having no plays off on the network, but no plays off will be no longer, unfortunately, unless Adam C and Thorpe decide to do it elsewhere. But we shall see.
It's on hiatus. That's how
hiatus.
It's on hiatus.
On a break.
Yeah, I think I need a football is greater than hat, though. I think I might need to look into that.
I can talk to the powers that be, maybe.
Yeah, hello.
Okay.
All right, now. I've sent V a lot of stuff, and then he doesn't wear it because his head's too big. So
my head's too big. It hurts my head. Okay.
He just doesn't want to mess up that nicely gelled hair that he's got going on.
That's the real
How much product is in there?
Actually, just a lot.
Yeah,
just a lot.
Yeah.
Just
in case you're wondering, quite a bit.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some news, guys. So Beast, did you have a chance to bring that graphic that I sent in the from the Twitter? Can you, if you haven't found it, you got about 30 seconds to snag it. We're getting to the point where second preseason games around the corner, and then
see the hair.
Oh yeah, look at that. Then we're at that point now where a lot of these injuries that are popping up / injuries that were before training camp leading into now, it's starting to be like if guys get hurt now, they might miss some regular season time, you know? And we've got a list of possibilities of players that were either already banged up, recovering from injuries, or were injured in the last couple of weeks. And this is a decent list of kind of some superstar players. Did I give you enough time? Have I rambled enough, Beast? Did you figure it out? Is he even listening to me?
Beast was just looking at my hair. He's not
listening.
Paying any attention to what you need.
Yeah, apparently not. Did you not find the graphic I'm talking about either in our group chat? Oh, it's just a picture. That's why. All right, I'll just read it off then for you guys. Sorry. All right. Okay. Pat Mahomes, obviously returning from his ACL injury. He is optimistic that he's going to play in week 1. So this is week 1 statuses to monitor via our friends at Underdog NFL. Jeremiah Love with the ankle. He's hopeful to play in week 1. Christian McCaffrey, which is interesting. We can maybe gab about that when I'm done getting through this list. But tightness expected to be fine, but we still don't know for sure as Kyle Shanahan's keeping that really close to the vest. Breece Hall is going to be out 2 to 3 weeks with that groin problem. Kyle Monangai, Josh Jacobs, Puka Nacua are off on this list too because of possible suspensions. Malik Neighbors is looking like he's going to play with the knee. Burden's probably going to be out, but could play week 1 with the groin. Alec Pierce, that situation in Indianapolis is wild just because of what he's got going on with that ankle problem, but he should be ready for week 1.
Don't forget the new receiver they got there now.
I know. Keenan Allen joining that squad, which is interesting. And then George Kittle on the Achilles return from his Achilles injury is on track to return in week 1. So most of these guys that are kind of either on the shelf or have been on the shelf are expected to return week 1, it's looking like. But any of those, the Pierce one maybe with the Colts, or any of those kind of stand out to you guys as like concerns or thinking, I'm not going to draft this dude, or, oh no, I don't know what's going to happen in the situation?
V, you want to go first?
I think Pierce, the fact that he has obviously missed significant time during the season, the fact that he is also expected to carry such a big load now, being the wide receiver 1 for this team, and then the addition of Keenan Allen. I just think that it's going to be a split, and not a split, but it's going to take away targets from Alec Pierce, while at the same time it kind of points to and signals to me that maybe he's not going to be 100% in week 1. Maybe they need somebody else to fill in that wide receiver room now. And that's just not something I like. They battled injuries last year, obviously, with Daniel Jones. And I just think that if they can't stay healthy, it's going to be a big problem, and especially with the big contract they just gave Pierce. I don't know how you have maneuverability out of that. You really committed to this iteration of the Colts. And from a fantasy perspective, I don't know if I want to draft somebody with injury history that is coming into the year with like a lower body kind of hamstring or any kind of tightness. I don't know if you guys have seen him at training camp too, but he even just walking around on the sidelines, he kind of looks uncomfortable, and that's concerning to me.
Especially with how much they invested in him, and you moved on from Michael Pittman Jr. Obviously, Daniel Jones got a big contract as well. He's not on this list, but Daniel Jones is also expected to be back for week 1, recovering from his Achilles injury too for the Colts. Kaufman, which one stands out to you, or which one are you monitoring the closest for fantasy purposes and also just for ball?
Yeah, just to remind people, because I was pulling it up, the Alec Pierce contract, 4 years, $114 million, most notably $84 million in total guarantees. So that is that's a big boy number. I remember that. I mean, I had to refresh my memory on the contract, but I remembered it being exorbitant because obviously the Patriots were in his market before the trade for AJ Brown and all of that. So look, going down this list, and I pulled it up as well that you were reading. Mm-hmm. I would say, and I'll just kind of a quick thought on most of them. Mahomes, whether he plays week 1, whether he doesn't play week 1, it's Justin Fields. I don't really care. I think that ultimately what I'm wondering with Mahomes, and I've talked about this at length on this show in the past, is I feel like we are going to see the Chiefs operate differently offensively this year than what we have in recent years. Because again, they've got the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker, who is not an elite running back, obviously, but he is, I think you could make a strong case he is the best running back that Kansas City has had since Kareem Hunt the first time around. So it's been a long time since they have had a legitimate potential stud in that backfield. And I think the reason the Kansas City went out and acquired Mahomes is because, or acquired
Kenneth Walker,
pardon me, is because, they don't know. They may feel like, hey, Mahomes is going to be ready for week 1, but they don't know what the hell he's going to look like coming off the torn ACL and how much mobility he's going to have, which is such a huge part of his game. So I think this is, in short, going to be a Kansas City team that is more reliant on the run overall as a team than it has been in recent years. So I think whether Mahomes is out there week 1 or whether he's out there week 2 or week 3, whatever it is, it's just not going to be the Mahomes that we're used to seeing until probably at least mid-season, honestly. I am definitely concerned about Jeremiah Love in Arizona. If, even if he is, I know he's hopeful to play, like you said, but a high ankle sprain I don't think it's going to torpedo his season or anything like that, but it could linger for a number of weeks before he is right. And this is the dude who is the betting favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year right now in what, to me, I'm higher on Arizona than most. I don't think the Cardinals are a playoff team, but I think it's going to be a really fun offense to watch, as it was, honestly, last year with Brissett, given the rapport with, Harrison Jr., with McBride, with Michael Wilson. Now you're giving him a real running back. We'll see if Brissett is throwing as much as he was, but I just think that is a little bit concerning, to where if Love is not what they are expecting him to be, is this elite dual threat guy who they took 3rd overall, that's a little bit of a concern. That's one I would worry about. Doesn't mean I'm not drafting him, but I think you're going to see his ADP, obviously lower today and tomorrow than it was, say, 48 hours ago, that type of thing.
No, same thing with Love. I think Monangai is in a similar position here because a lot of people were very high on Monangai, what he brings to the table, not just in the fantasy like fantasy scope of things, but with this team. We know what Ben Johnson likes to do with the run game. He has 2 elite running backs in offenses past. That's kind of when he's been at his best, and his offenses have been at their best. Monangai's injury is also kind of out of nowhere. They were kind of shady with his whereabouts, what's going on. And now it seems like as we close in on the beginning of the season, literally 22 days left, we kind of have to start to get more serious with his injury designation and how long he's going to be out. And now we're seeing expected to miss multiple weeks.
Well, don't forget, they went from, this is minor, not a big deal, should be ready for week 1 to, like you said, multiple weeks where, I mean, he's still the secondary guy to DeAndre Swift. But by the same token, as a rookie last year, not missing any games, he went for almost 1,000 total yards across all his touches. So obviously impactful. And as we know, Ben Johnson's focused on his offense averaging 40 points a game now and breaking records and all that. So yeah, not having Monangai who can be an electric threat is, a little bit of a hurt. McCaffrey, anytime that you have any sort of injury attached to Christian McCaffrey is concerning. I think I maybe said this to you the other day, SPJ. The Niners, for all the injuries, and it's just like, it's such an evergreen statement. Oh, the Niners are dealing with injuries over the last couple of years. 2 years ago, McCaffrey obviously was a huge part of that, and that team was toast. You know, it was supposed to win 12, 13, 14 games, didn't even make the playoffs. You know, what we end up seeing last year was virtually everybody on that team. You know, like Mac Jones is the quarterback for a good chunk of that season. Purdy was hurt. A bunch of wideouts were hurt. Kittle gets lost for the season. You have Warner or injuries on the defensive side, all of that. But McCaffrey stayed healthy. And so long as McCaffrey is healthy, that's enough because he's just that good. So I worry if I'm the Niners in that division. I know we're going to talk more about the Seahawks later, but the Rams have gone out and already tried to buy themselves a Super Bowl. The Seahawks are obviously one of the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. The Niners, most of us feel like, are a 10, 11, 12 win team. But if McCaffrey is banged up once again, you might not be a playoff team. So that's one that I would certainly worry about. And then just one other that I'll bring up here, looking at the list. Breece Hall, you know, missing time. It doesn't really matter in the sense that the Jets aren't going anywhere. We know that. This is like a 3 or 4 win team or something like that. But from a fantasy perspective, I would be weary because, again, when he comes back, what's he going to look like? How explosive is he still going to be? Obviously, anytime you have a non-contact injury, even if it is viewed as minor, but it's a hyperextended situation, that is a concern. And the Jets have already been a little, you know, fudgy with this timetable, if you will. And while you're getting a good handcuff option in Braylon Allen, just in the sense that obviously he'll be a, you know, bell cow back for a little while and maybe get even more usage once Breece Hall does come back, I would just be at least cognizant of the fact that at least in the couple of years that we've seen him in limited sample size, Braylon Allen is not Breece Hall. He's not producing at the rate that Breece Hall does, even when he gets an opportunity. The yards per carry are much lower. He's not nearly as explosive. Like, I like Braylon Allen. I absolutely do not by any means love him. So it's just another situation with that Jets offense that should be concerning, not to mention, you know, the whole Geno Smith saga anyway.
As if they needed another reason to be bad.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head on most of these. The Breece Hall one, obviously not for implications besides the fact of also just affects his status moving forward if he ends up wanting to get traded to another actual good team in his career. I mean, he's at the point now in his career where his contract is probably going to turn into something that they may want to move on from if they're not going to be able to build around and be successful soon. Because as you know, with running backs, the time ticks a little bit faster than all the other positions. So he's going to want to go play for a team where he can actually look to compete to win, especially if he has a good season. But it's hard to do that and get a good price for somebody, or especially with the running back market being the way that it is now. You know, we just saw Gibbs get paid. You just saw Jonathan Taylor get paid. You just saw Bijan Robinson get paid. And I mean, Breece Hall is not shown that he is on that level, but he has the skill set to be in that conversation with those guys when healthy and when competent. So, yeah, I mean, Braylon Allen's a good handcuff option, but, like, I'm not going out and drafting Braylon Allen to try to have him start multiple weeks if Breece Hall misses time. The McCaffrey thing, I'm pretty worried about this. Like, it affects my decision. And, Sauceman, you can maybe talk about this too. Like, we've seen this with McCaffrey before, like you said, Adam, and, like, this makes me not want to draft him. And I mean, maybe that looks stupid, but like if you're drafting McCaffrey, you're having to take him top 5 in the first round, probably. And like, do you want this going into the season, not knowing if your first round? I mean, injuries happen in football. It just is how it goes. Your first round pick is probably not going to win you your league all the time, but you need to have your first round pick at least produce consistently and not have this looming over their head and hope that they don't get hurt the entire year. But this makes me not want to take him at all.
Well, here, I'll read you some names, and you tell me if you would take McCaffrey before any of these guys.
Okay.
Gibbs.
No.
Bijan.
No.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
No.
Puka.
No.
JSN.
I think JSN is where I draw the line. I think everybody before that I would take before him.
I agree with that. Maybe no for JSN, but yeah, that's where it starts getting like I'd think about it.
That's where it gets fuzzy. And I'll include in there, I would still take McCaffrey before this guy, but I'll throw him into the mix anyway. Amon-Ra.
PPR for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing full point PPR, you know.
Which if you're not in 2026 chat, get in a grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, V, what do you think about this? I mean, that's the one to me. I mean, the Puka and the Josh Jacobs thing is tough just because, again, these guys are going to get suspended possibly. We don't know. So that one's obviously concerning for various reasons. But, like, just the question marks around McCaffrey, to me, stands out the most just because of the star power.
I honestly think the McCaffrey situation is very weird. Like, you've seen multiple seasons with him playing 4 games, 7 games, 6 games, and then also a season like last year where he played 17 games. He won people their leagues, and he's kind of one of the best football players just on the planet. I just don't know what to think of this. It was 2 years ago, it seems like, before when he played 4 games, and it was right before the season started. He got a case of tightness, and the next thing you know, he didn't play till I think it was week 13 or 14. He missed that much time, and they couldn't figure out what was going on with the Cavs. He went into the summer and he went into the offseason with that issue. And then everybody was afraid to draft him last year. Mm-hmm. Everybody that didn't kicked themselves in the ass. And now we're sitting here with the same conundrum, and it feels like all over again. With Jacobs and Puka, like, from what, if you're going to believe reports coming out from Rappaport and things like that, it looks like maybe a 1-game suspension, if that, for Puka. With Josh Jacobs, they have no clue yet because charges haven't been laid. And when that happens, then, the NFL, they like to let that play out before they make any decisions. So who knows what's going to happen there. Those ones are also, I would say, a little bit of a crapshoot. Puka, just because of how high you have to take him. And with Jacobs coming off a really bad season with the distractions, with also a pending suspension. And there might be somebody in that backfield that gets some extra touches this year. I don't want to get too hyped, but Jackson knows. Jackson knows.
Well, definitely worth monitoring all of these situations. We didn't even really touch on the Malik Neighbors thing. We talked about this with the Giants situation, but that obviously is massive for that offense. If he comes back and plays like the player that he was pre-injury, then, the math changes completely, and he turns into a top 5 wide receiver that, hell, you might be able to draft him from a fantasy perspective into the second, third round, getting a top 3 wide receiver. So interesting spot there. The only thing that makes also unfortunate for Jamal Adams, he got bit by the MetLife bug once again, tore his ACL. He's out for the entire season for the Vikings, which was unfortunate.
Finally played a full year last year too, for the first time in since Nam, as you would say.
Yeah, his career might be over, unfortunately for him. Okay, well, we're going to talk more about preseason as we get closer to Thursday. Full preseason slate of week 2 games. And week 2 is usually the quote-unquote the most fun preseason from a watchability perspective. A lot of these teams are usually playing starters at least for a couple of series, if not a full quarter.
Mendoza's going to get a good amount of reps, too, in the second game. So it's going to be fun.
Any news about that you guys want to gab about real quick? Since, I won't be with you guys tomorrow, and then Thursday we'll have games to discuss. Anything that kind of stands out to you guys looking forward to some week 2 action in the preseason?
Nothing yet. Just I don't believe anything coaches are saying this early in the week, whether it's preseason or regular season. I don't believe anything a coach is telling me on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So
sure. I think there's some Beast just said it in the chat. I'm going to be definitely paying attention on Sunday Night Football between the Titans and the Seahawks. We'll talk about them in a minute. If Cam Ward looks better than he did against the Niners, because he was not very good in that game. So hopefully he's going to be a little better in preseason week 2. We'll find out. But
I am not even high on the Titans, and I expect more than that.
It was nasty.
Dayball, wake him up, please.
Yeah, it was gross.
Just looked disinterested out there. It was weird.
Yeah. I'm hoping for bounce back performance. And against the preseason, who gives a shit? But
he should.
I think that he is going to come back and play like he did, or play like he should in week 2. We'll find out. But we'll have more chance to talk about this as the week continues. Any other news from today / into what we're going to talk about the rest of the show that you guys want to bring up before we start talking some bets?
No.
Let's talk some bets. I want to get here on this show.
Adam wants to get to the part where he can shit on the Seahawks, all right? He's trying to forward to that part of the show. I know why he's here today. I know why he's here on a Tuesday.
He's fast forwarding.
There's a reason I got called in today.
Yeah.
Called in. He was ringing that phone at 6 a.m. SPJ, wake up. Wake up. I saw it's the Seahawks.
The cough signal. We should get an audio file of you just coughing, and then that will be your signal. All right, let's do the dub, and then we'll finish with some baseball. WNBA slate tonight, 4 games. We're getting closer and closer to the start of the playoffs, and as I've said many times over the last few days, these games are starting to really mean something. I'm just going to go through each game. V, I know you've got various plays. I do too. Do you have anything in this first game, the Sun and the Sparks? 2.5 point dogs are the Connecticut Sun, 170.5 point total. Two teams probably not going to make the offs. I didn't find much. Did you like anything in that game?
No, nothing in that one.
Okay, cool. I skipped that one too. Let's move to the next game then. This one should be very fun. Not necessarily playoff implication-wise, but the total says it's going to be fun, and it probably should be. The Toronto Tempo at home hosting Caitlin Clark and company. The Indiana Fever traveling north of the border to take on the Tempo. 10.5 point dogs are the Tempo at home. 190.5 point total. Couple of talking points before you talk about what you like in this game. Brittany Sykes is expected to make her return. She hasn't played for about a month and a half for the Tempo. That should be interesting to see how she fits back in. Looked really nice to start the season with her and Maybury returning to the lineup. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are both game time decisions, but that's kind of just par for the course at this point for this team. They're probably going to play. And again, massive total. The Tempo like to play with tempo, pun intended. And the Fever can be a little bit questionable defensively, and their offense is also humming. So what did you like in this game? There's lots to look at. I'm sure we're kind of aligned on a few things. But what did you like here?
It's our girl, Kelsey Mitchell, one of the best scorers in the WNBA this season. She is averaging close to, 24.2 points per game this year. She's shooting 50% from the field, 44% from beyond the arc. And a lot of these games have come with Caitlin Clark. I know that's always a question people have about the usage rates. But in 7 of her last 10, she's averaging, she's hit this line, she's averaging 27.3 points per game. And she's doing it on shooting splits of 53, 49, and 79. And all of these games have come with Clark. She had 27 points against the Tempo earlier this year. That game, once again, had Clark. And like you said, SPJ, the Tempo love to play with Tempo, but one thing that they do a lot of is give up a ton of points. They're 15th in points per game allowed this year. They're giving up 94.1 points per game, and more than 50% of those are coming from opposing guards. They just don't have the ability to guard this backcourt that is in Indiana. I think Kelsey Mitchell at over 25.5 points feels really, really right tonight. So, yeah, give me Kelsey to kind of go off tonight.
I like it. Do you only have one play in this game?
Yeah, just the one play in this one.
All right, I'll give you guys a couple more props that I looked at in this one. I liked Mitchell. I'm going to go to the other side. This one's a little bit more of a narrative play, but at home, Marina Maybury in a game that's going to have a shit ton of shots, and she's going to get up to play a team that's going to be in the playoffs. So I really like the 19.5 points for Maybury here. Get an playable price minus 115. Shop around, obviously find the best available. 23 and 36 in her last 2 games. Her 3-point prop is nice too, over 2.5 for a bit of juice. But I just think that Marina is going to take a shit ton of shots, even with Sykes returning back into the lineup. So I like Maybury on that side. And then my favorite play, maybe on the entire slate. And I mean, Sauce, we've talked about this before with this, as you mentioned, this Toronto team, how bad they are defensively. But not only bad defensively, they're terrible defending the paint. They're really bad to the center position. They're really bad to the forward position. And I'm going straight to Aaliyah Boston. She's been fantastic over the last few games, and she's had really good success against this Tempo team. 3 straight hits of this PR line of 25.5. She had 18 and 11 in her last game against this team back in June. The double-double is very nice too if you'd like to go that direction. It's plus money, plus 135 if you don't want to get invested on the points, but I think she should be able to score, and I think the 25.5 feels comfortable. If anything, I kind of like the double-double, maybe even a little bit more with the plus money price. But this game does have the potential to possibly get out of hand with the 10.5 point spread, but I think that the Tempo stick around long enough to make this relatively interesting. So I like the Mitchell play. I love Boston on Marina Maybury. And Caitlin Clark should also have something to say in this game too. So it should be a fun one tonight, even though it could turn into a little bit of a Fever. I could see the Fever, like them sticking around most of the game, and then maybe the Fever cover like late and win by like 15 or something. But this game should be at least fun, potentially, from a prop perspective.
I've seen a lot of people on the team total over for Indiana today, 100.5, and you can still get it minus 105.
I was thinking about that when V was talking, and it feels right because especially with how good this team has been offensively over the last, especially the last month, but especially since the return from the All-Star break. I like it. It makes sense. They should score 100 points. The Tempo, as V mentioned, are just, God, they're so bad defensively. Defense optional for this team. So, yeah, it should be a fun one. Anything else in this one, or should we keep moving?
We can keep moving.
All right, let's keep it going. possibly the game of the night. This was going to be very fun. And I know, V, I'm sure you have a couple ones in this one. In the desert, the Aces taking on the Atlanta Dream. Asia and Company hosting Angel Reese. Should be a great battle between two playoff teams. 3.5-point favorites are the Las Vegas Aces. 178.5-point total. A little bit lower than the one we just discussed, but high enough to where there's going to be some fun stuff here. Jordan Canada, game time decision for the Dream on the away team side. Sauce, what did you like in this one?
Honestly, I was looking at Angel Reese. I was looking at Asia Wilson just to talk about what they've looked like in the matchups. They've gone head-to-head, 7 matchups. Asia is 6-1 in those head-to-head matchups. She averages 24.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 2.9 blocks per game. She comes locked in, but so does Angel Reese. She might not score as much, averaging just 13.7 points per game in the 7 matchups, but she is on the glass. 14.3 rebounds per game and 4.9 offensive rebounds per game. That is incredibly hard to do against Asia Wilson. So I got to give her credit. Obviously, everybody wants Angel Reese to shoot better, but she is still holding her own. The Dream are winning games. And unfortunately, they've dropped both games to the Aces this season. So this feels like a spot in which maybe the Dream come out a little bit more back against the wall, not wanting to go down 3-0 in the season series. And they've been kind of playing well. They lost on a blown layup the other night by Angel Reese. Now they're going to Vegas. And like you said, stars on all sides. I'm looking at Chelsea Gray at 8.5 AR, minus 130. Initially, I was looking at Jackie Young. She's been really good to us over the last few weeks. But Chelsea Gray also has phenomenal games against the Atlanta Dream. She has hit this line in both matchups this season. And in games where where Wilson is playing really well, we've seen Gray really just kind of attack the glass and stuff the stat sheet in terms of assists. She's averaging 7.1 assists per game this season. And I think this is a great matchup. They are 13th, in opponent effective field goal percentage are the Dream. And this just feels like a spot where the Aces are at home. You're playing another top 5 team in the league, and you kind of come out and you show everybody why you are still like top dog in this league. I think Chelsea Gray's gonna have a big part of it. And just to add a little bit more narrative, Sooks talked about this countlessly on this on this network. But the unrivaled league that we saw for the first time this season, the one-on-one league, Chelsea Gray was the winner of that league. She took home the $200,000 cash prize, and you know who she went up against? Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream. So always a little bit of fun narrative. I feel like maybe that's why she's had some 2 big games too. And I just feel like at home, in front of the home crowd in Vegas, 8.5 AR feels like a really good spot for Chelsea.
You guys must be pumped about this international tourney that's coming up here in a couple weeks too.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be really fun for sure.
My good buddy of mine is the TV voice of this. I'm sure we could get him on to break it down and preview it if you'd like.
Oh, let's go. Yes, please.
We would love that. So would chat.
Send me that text. I can't wait to hear about that. Sauce. I love this Chelsea Gray. I almost went PRA like Chad just mentioned with Gray. She's got great success against this Dream team. As you mentioned, Alicia Gray is on a heater right now. Nothing wrong with maybe looking at her props, but I went to Angel. Now I might regret this, but I took the PR 27.5. She just had a 16 rebound, 23-point performance game against the Aces right as the turn of the calendar for August. If this game is going to be close, Angel's going to have to make some shots. Maybe she bounces back a bit after missing that layup and have to deal with the timeline giving her some shit and all the obviously all the me bounds conversation. But I like the PR line 27.5. But my favorite play in this game, you alluded to it. I'm going back to Jackie Young. She had a triple-double against this team when they played last. 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 28 points. I'm taking the PRA 29.5. I'm not overthinking this. 2 of the last 3 games against this Atlanta Dream team, she's had a triple-double. Last point before there's no other solid jobs I need to give you here. She's also coming off her worst shooting performance of the entire season in their last game. She had 8 points in that one, shot the ball really poorly. She did have 9 assists still, and I think she bounces back heavily at home as well. So I really like the 30.5 PRA, and I did sprinkle on the double-double. It's a really playable, tasty price. The last time we talked about this, plus 475. If you want to get real spicy, the triple-double is 35-1. So
I won't bet it again, chat. So please go do it because I'm gonna sit here with much regret. But for you, I'll only hit the double again.
Yeah, let's just dust it, a little sprinkle. Okay, Kaufman, anything you want to mention from that Aces Dream game that you have in there, or do you want to move to the last one?
No, not really. I did see a fair amount of the it was under 34.5 PR for Asia, and that type of thing. Go anytime that you want to fade Asia, it makes me nervous.
5,000%.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah.
She could very easily drop 35 tonight.
Right. Without any rebounds.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's move on to the last game. The Chicago Sky hosting the New York Liberty tonight. Now, V, this game, well, both of you gents, but V especially, the spread is really interesting here. Chicago Sky are not a very good team, 13-22. Might maybe make a playoff run here at the end, but they're probably not going to make the playoffs. Liberty, are a championship contender on paper. Only 4.5-point dogs are the Chicago Sky at home here. 179.5-point total. Now, the reason why this is the case is the Liberty have just been so bad defensively recently. Winners of 2 of their last 3, though, kind of getting right in the ship there. But as Flo knows, he and I have talked about this many times. This team is just really struggling defending. Now, V, what did you like in this game? Do you think do you think this line makes any sense, or do you think that this is a little bit of a pump fake here?
The line maybe a little bit, just because, like you've said, they've won 7 of their last 9 games since the All-Star break. They've kind of righted the ship after a little bit, but maybe a tough stretch of games. You go from Indiana back home, and then you play on the road in Connecticut right after that. I think maybe it has to do with how much Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu have been struggling from the field since the All-Star game. Both of them are shooting, I think, below 45% from the field, below 30% from outside and beyond the arc. And that's exactly why I'm targeting somebody else on this team, and that's Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones has been fantastic this year. She's averaging 14.7 points per game. She leads the Liberty with 9.4 rebounds per game, and she has been dominant on the offensive glass all year, but especially over the last 10 games. She's averaging 2.5 offensive rebounds per game, and this guy just have not had an answer for opposing bigs. They rank 11th in opponent offensive rebound rate, 15th in rebounds allowed, and 11th in points allowed. They have just not been good, and I think that this is a spot where Jonquel can come in, take advantage both on the offensive glass, and the fact that she's a pretty good three-point shooter. She's shooting 39% from outside this year. She had 2+ threes the last time she's played this team, and she's had 2+ threes in 2 of her last 3 games. She's been 4 of her last 6 games overall. I think this is a spot where maybe she can get a few extra points in that way, and we just know she's going to be clearing the glass tonight. Stewart's been struggling a little bit. Serena's been struggling a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jonquel Jones have a pretty big game against a very, very bad defense. So, yeah, give me Jones, 24.5 PR.
I like PR a lot. Threes, special mention from Austin as well in the chat's one of his favorites. The 2+ does look very tasty at -115, hitting 4 of the last 5 against this pretty bad Chicago Sky defense. So I got 2 plays. As you mentioned, Sabrina, dude, I don't know why her points is sitting at 16.5. Like, miss me with that, man. I know she's been struggling a little bit, but 16.5 points against a really bad defensive team is just free cheese, feels like. 19-20 in her last 2 games. She had 29 points against this team earlier this season. Set it, forget it. Don't overthink it. I really like this play for her. A little bit of a bounce back spot in Chicago tonight. And then on the other side, speaking of bounce backs, a little bit of a narrative play here, boys. Former team, you got 2 players on the Sky that used to play for the Liberty. Natasha Cloud, obviously, and Courtney Vandersloot. Now, Sauceman, I've bet Vandersloot a few times, and she's burned us. But I'm going straight back to her here against the former squad. She's had good games against the Liberty in her past. She had 4 assists, and a couple of rebounds in their last game earlier this season in New York. She's also been really good recently shooting the basketball, scoring, and running this offense. 15, 5, and 5 in her last game. If you want to just take the RA, you can. It's sitting at 7.5. But she has good scoring games against the Liberty. And like I said, the Liberty are really struggling guarding the guard position right now. Vandersloot's going to have the ball in her hands a bunch. So I really like that. Natasha Cloud's in a good spot too. Obviously, her former team as well. She also is coming off a really big game as well. So I think the Sky make this frisky. I really like your Jones play, but I'm going with Ionescu for the lower number and the narrative with Vandersloot.
I was actually going to ask you about Vandersloot, and that's because our good friend Sheffrey, his model chat, don't ask for it, you'll get it soon, but has her projected for 18.5 PRA today, and they really like her points line. Now, obviously, I know you and me have been betting the A&R, but she has been scoring a lot more as of lately, double-digit games in 5 of the last 10 here. also, if that's the angle, I would rather take the PRA just because we know she is capable of stuffing the stat sheet. But I didn't even know about the former team narrative, so now you know I'm all the way in.
Yeah, won a championship with this team in 2024. Then she got hurt.
Wow.
They shipped her out of town. She tore her ACL, returned, and now is back with the Sky. So, yeah, always the former narrative there too. Should be a fun game tonight, though. Should be a good one. Should be interesting to see what happens in Chicago this evening. All right, boys. Before we turn the page to MLB, Kaufman, did you have any thoughts or any plays that you wanted to mention in that last game?
No, you just must be so excited that we have a 4-game slate as opposed to just the little, one late night affair last night. This is going to be good. We got an active W slate. So I can get some stuff in pocket, but more of it is just kind of tailing people than it is my own handicapping. So, I'll ride with that and see what happens.
I'm sure we'll find a few things to throw in the parlay tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move the groove to the MLB. I know you lads both might have some plays in the on the diamond. Where do you guys want? Kaufman, I'll let you. You've been sitting so patiently and quietly while we've been talking the dub. Do you have any baseball? I have. You have any baseball?
I'm just waiting to dump all over Seattle. So why haven't we mentioned the Seahawks yet? So the system. Full disclosure, as I'm always very transparent with this stuff, the system has had a train wreck of a last week. I mean, I can't even fathom. Like, the system has been so bad the last week to where I have just used some parlay boosts available with opposite picks, trying to cash parlays going against the system. And it's actually worked a couple of times. Nice. So as a result, the bank account is not, falling apart or anything like that. Yesterday was a classic case. There was here, I'll pull it up quick. The because I'm trying to remember which teams it was. So the system for anyone new to it is about riding streaks, whether for or against. And sometimes that is, going to lead to plays that you don't actually believe in. But if you are blind betting the system, as I am, my hard-earned money is going on the system, then it's gonna work or it's gonna not, right? And so yesterday, the system was on the White Sox at plus 150, and the Pirates at plus 105, and the Orioles at about plus 150. Those are 3 plus money plays that I did not like at all. And so I put together a parlay of the Rays against the Orioles, the Cubs against the White Sox, and the Tigers against the Pirates. And that 3-teamer, although it was incredibly sweaty, if anyone paid attention to a couple of those games, actually did hit. The worst case scenario anytime I do this is if you hit 2 out of 3, right? And so you're down on the system potentially, and the parlay misses. But fortunately, even though it was a disaster of a day for the system yesterday, the parlay hit and kept me above water. But system plays today. That's all to just preface. We got a big slate today, but a light slate of plays. So a favorite is a play that I do really like, but it's priced beyond minus 200. It's awful, is the Phillies tonight with Wheeler on the mound. So anytime, as I've talked about here, that a play is outside of minus 200, that's kind of the threshold that I tend to use. I will go from it could be 199. I will put a full unit on it. But as soon as it moves to, minus 205, and in this case, I think it's minus 210. I don't have it in front of me. Then I will drop it down to a half unit play, and I will do the run line instead. Makes sense. So I'm on Philly minus 1.5 tonight at right around even money. Might even be slight plus money depending on where you do your shopping. And then the full unit plays tonight are the Rangers fading the Nationals, and Texas is a pretty sizable favorite. And then also in the NL East, which is it? The Mets. The Mets are favored tonight. So actually, the Mets might be dogs, but we're on the Mets. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly where I got the number anyway. The Mets are slight dogs. I got them at plus 105. Might be a little better right now. So that's Mets against the Padres, Rangers against the Nationals, Phillies as a half unit play on the run line. Those are the 3 system plays tonight. So we'll see what ends up happening. But for anyone, just if you don't want to bet the system and you're just wondering what I like the Phillies a lot. I like the Red Sox a fair amount, and I like the Dodgers quite a bit. So those would be the three. And I did do this on my own. Again, it has nothing to do with my system spreadsheet or anything like that I'm tracking. This is just my own little wallet play. Those are three teams that I parlayed together at, just their regular money line.
Nice. What do you think, Sauce Man?
I like that. The system is the system, right? You got to stick with it sometimes, but that's why Adam has these parlays. I like the Phillies tonight. The -210 price tag is probably a little bit too much, but good matchup there. It's kind of a reliever game for the Marlins. They got Tyler Phillips coming in after a opener. He doesn't really line up well. I do also think the price on Schwarber at +250 is a little bit mispriced, just kind of with the hard contact that Phillips has been giving up over his last few starts. 8.5 barrel percentage allowed, 53% hard hit rate, and he's given up 1.9 home runs per 9. So he looks like very much due for some regression, and I think it's also why the Marlins are kind of bringing in an opener for him to kind of take some pressure off, especially because you look at this lineup for the Phillies, and the first 3 to 4 batters are very, very, very good. And then you got Bohm, who's been on absolute fire over the last few games too. So I do like that. I got a couple of home run hitters in 2 that will sound like familiar names. One that you're going to wonder if I spazzed out on my keyboard. So bear with me. All right. But I've kind of been deep in the lab today, and I found 2 home run hitters. Start with the chalkiest, 3 home run hitters. Sorry, the chalkiest, Murakami. It's Chicago versus Chicago. It's the White Sox versus the Cubs. You have 2 teams in the exact same city. I don't know if you guys saw the video of 2 fan bases scrapping it out last night too, in the bleachers. Absolutely in there? Insane.
Do we know if Danny was in the middle of that pile?
It was filming.
The fun filming.
Absolutely horrendous. But you know what? It's what happens, right? Like it's a rivalry for a reason. But I just love the way Murakami has looked over the last few weeks. Over the last 2 weeks, he's got a 64% hard hit rate, 28% barrel rate. And I don't know if you were watching last night, but he hit one so fast and so hard it looked like he was about to leave the park, and all of a sudden it just felt like it dropped out of the air. So I'm going right back to him tonight. I do think that this is a good matchup with him, and maybe a little bit of narrative. It's Seiya Suzuki's birthday, so maybe you want to go bet Suzuki on the other side, but I'm betting on the new South Side Samurai, on the only South Side Samurai, actually, because the Cubs don't play on the South Side. So give me Murakami. I think that Gausman has been kind of mid since coming over to the Cubs, and he's struggled against left-handed bats, especially really strong and big-hitting left-handed bats this season. I got one more in that Braves game against the Twins. Winds are blowing out, and this guy has been struggling this year. Austin Riley has not been good at baseball this year. He's hitting under 200 this season. He is literally 8th in the lineup right now. It just hasn't been good. But over the last few weeks, he has been really hitting the ball hard. It just hasn't been translating into a lot of hard hits. Just to read off some of the numbers here with Riley, just over the last 2 weeks, 27% barrel rate, 62% hard hit rate. And now you're going up against Zebby Matthews, a guy who has been really, really struggling over the last few games. Over his last 3 starts, a 9.3% barrel rate allowed, 63% hard hit rate allowed, and he's given up almost 2 home runs per 9 innings. Winds are blowing out towards right field. This feels like the perfect spot for Riley to kind of get right over the last few games too. In his last 5 games, he has a 300 batting average. He is smoking the ball with 3 hard hits, 1 barrel. Just can't leave the park. This is a time where it does. And now the last one, the one where everybody's going to ask me who, and I'm going to have to clarify what team he actually plays for. Brock Rodden. I don't.
Nah, you're making that up.
I don't exactly. That's exactly what I knew. But he plays for the Seattle Mariners. He was just called up from the Tacoma Rainiers. Yes. That is their minor league affiliate, the Tacoma Rainiers. But the guy has only had 10 major league at-bats. He's recorded 3 hits. He's got a 20% barrel rate and a 60% hard hit rate. He has been smoking the ball over these last 3 games since he's been called up. And tonight he finally gets another lefty. He's only faced 1 lefty so far this season. Tonight he gets another one. He's got 19 home runs in the minor leagues. And winds and conditions today in Milwaukee are looking good. And you got Kyle Harrison on the mound. He just hasn't been as good this year. He's given up 1.3 home runs per 9. He's also struggled against right-handed bats, giving up a 40% hard hit rate. And this one's a crapshoot. It's plus 930 for a reason. it's like not even the half unit that you're normally putting on my bets. 0.25 unit on this. All right, plus
So,
930.
V,
major league home run if it happens.
I absolutely love this, and if he hits a home run tonight, this will be clipped, no doubt. You can also, his HRR for this guy is a singular 1 over a half from -125.
He's batting ninth, chat. So
he's had 2, 3, and 3 HRR in his last 3 games, as you mentioned, just getting called up. His total base is also a singular 1. He just needs 1 hit, and that is plus money. So, as V said, the home run's a fun sprinkle, but I mean, for the price for this guy to get just on base for a hit, and then obviously if you want to go HRR with a bit of juice, if he just gets on base somehow and either gets a run or an RBI or something, very playable price. This might go in the parlay, dude.
Dude, maybe, but yeah, I don't hate it.
You're eager to sink the lay.
Nah, yeah. Look at Adam.
I believe.
Oh my God. No,
I believe.
Thank you for your confidence, Adam. I appreciate.
I love plays like this.
Listen, I'm confident in you, and I like the idea of a nice over 1/2 straight at -120 ballpark. Throwing it in the parlay though feels a little bold.
Hey,
that's what we like to call a heat check.
Go bold or go home, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when I bet this, Adam. When I saw the price tag at plus 930, I was like, okay, I need to chill the fuck out. Like, this is ridiculous. But fuck it. There we go.
All right, here's what we're doing. This is going in the lay. So just get ready. HRR for and Jackson, find a picture of old Brock for the part or for the graphic, because people go and learn the name Roden tonight.
You're gonna have to look hard. He's played 3 games for the Mariners. So.
Brock Rodden. Rodden. How do you even say his name?
I don't know.
Rodden or Rodden?
Can we look at Baseball Reference? Find out if they even know.
2 plus one plus HRR, chat. 1 plus. Okay. You guys both said the Phillies. I know that's very juicy, but is there something else we like to?
It is Rodden.
Rodden.
For parlay, I don't mind the -200, right? Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, -200, sure.
Dennis Rodden's going to take us home. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
All right. Phillies on the money line. In the dub. Now, V, since you and I both had plays, Adam, what were your 2 favorites that V and I talked about? See if you were listening.
I was not. Let's see. No, I like the over talk in that. I don't know if you wanted to go full game versus just the fever in that fever tempo game, but I like the expectation of points in that one. I mean, I don't know the W well enough to necessarily want to commit myself to multiple plays on the slate, but I understand it's a thin slate that we have across sports to work with if you're not really dialed in on MLB. I would be comfortable, though, like if you want an MLB prop, if you want a WNBA proper side, throwing in a money line somewhere in baseball. I know that obviously Beast loves himself some Milwaukee Brewers tonight. That is, I didn't mention the Brewers, but that is one that I like. Not as much as Philly. Philly would be my favorite on the board, but obviously you got a fair amount of juice there.
All right, let's go.
Stifler noted PCA is definitely taking the cover off the ball right now.
He is. Let's go with the 2 baseball we have, and you didn't really answer my question, so I'll just ask V what his favorite is.
Honestly, I really like Jonquil. I think she's gonna have a big game in New York tonight. I like the lower spread too. Makes me feel like maybe a closer game, right?
PR or the 2 threes?
I say we take the PR for the parlay, and then I want to bet the Vandersloot narrative.
Oh, we're sticking in the same game?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Don't do an SGP
No.
plus.
No. Let's do. I want to do Jackie Young.
Okay, I'm down for Jackie Young.
Let's do Jackie. Take the PRA. 30 plus for Jackie. Ooh, 30.5. It's okay. The hook's fine. Is it? Yeah, that's fine. All right, Brock Rodden. Who? Dennis Rodden. 1 HRR, a singular, over a half. The Phillies on the money line. Jonquil Jones, 24.5 PR. And then Jackie Young, 30.5 PRA, plus 837. There it is.
It feels good, boys. It feels good.
There
We
it
need
is.
a win.
I do have a Jonquil bet that is, I'm on her over 24.5 PR tonight.
That's what V is too.
Yeah. So there we go.
Bang.
Yeah,
that's what we call confirmation bias.
Is that what that feels like? Oh my God, that was horrible. That's what I do to you guys? No, I'm just kidding.
that is what you do, V. That's how it goes. There's the parlay on the screen. Feel free to tail if you want to. There's the Betty 4. As always, bet responsibly with the parlays. They're for fun, especially right now. When we get back to football, that was going to hit like crap. Speaking of football, let's finish. We did what we're going to do, Sauce Man, that you're here for. Or not Sauce Man, Boost Man.
Oh, man.
So many mans.
Sook Man, Boost Man, Sauce Man, SPJ Man. Let's talk Seahawks. Let's continue our Dubs and L's series. We're getting close to being done, boys. We only got about 4 more teams to go as we have gone through the entire NFL. But now we're to the Super Bowl champs, Sam Darnold and company, looking to repeat once again this season. Lots of primetime games, as you can imagine, as they were Super Bowl champs last year. Sorry, Adam. Week 11 bye. Over 10.5 win total. Plus 215 to win the NFC West, which is interesting for the Lombardi lifters from last year. But obviously, with the Rams and the San Francisco Niners in the division, things could get a little interesting. 11-1 to go back to back in this season. Sauceman, let's go first. What are you looking forward to talking about the Seahawks?
Gonna make Adam wait just a little bit longer. I like it. I like it a lot.
Keep him on a seat.
I think that everybody has the regression candidates. Like I've said this before. Everyone has the teams that they think are going to regress this year. A lot of Patriots fans think it's going to be the Seahawks. A lot of Seahawks fans think it's going to be the Patriots. A lot of Packers fans are smart and know it's going to be the Bears. But this is a Seahawks team that I think has lost some bodies. I think Clint Kubiak, a new offensive coordinator for Sam Darnold. It's going to be his 3rd in 3 years. A new guy behind like that offense that looked so good last year, right? We saw the way JSN was running routes. We saw the way that they had the run game incorporated, and it's like you never knew what was coming. How much of that was Clint Kubiak with Mike McDonald also being a offensive guy? They did make some good additions, though. I do think on the defensive side, I still think the Seahawks are going to be good, and I think it's because the defense remains mainly intact. And I think 10.5 is an accurate depiction, but we'll see as we go through the schedule because it looks like some tough games on the schedule too.
All right, Kaufman. What? We know why you're here.
I'm actually eager to look at the schedule with you guys and really delve deep into it because you know how we all do this as not even just as bettors, just as people with opinions, right? You dig in on a sports take and you just, you plant your flag, you dig your heels into the ground, whatever it is, and you just decide something almost independent of the data that may or may not support it. I say all of that to say I haven't really looked at Seattle's schedule. So I may go through this exercise with you and talk completely against myself. But my hot take, if you will, going into the new year is that one of the betting favorites, top 3 on the board, the Seattle Seahawks, is ripe for regression, is going to be worse off than it was last year. And that doesn't mean I believe last year was a fluke and that the Seahawks were an undeserving champion, that Sam Darnold wasn't awesome, that JSN isn't incredible, all of these things. Mike McDonald did a hell of a job. It was an historic defense. They were beating the tar out of opponents, and they emerged from the best division in football to win a championship. Hats off to them. I just think you are going to see them take a dramatic step back where that in the NFC might look a little different than the AFC. For instance, I could see Seattle winning 9 games this year, be above 500, and not be a playoff team. I don't think a 9-win team is necessarily missing the playoffs in the AFC. I think the NFC, though, is pretty loaded top to bottom. And I expect, and maybe I'll be wrong, certainly reserve the right to say I'll be wrong, I think that the loss of Clint Kubiak is going to be substantial. I think it is likened to the Lions losing Ben Johnson and what happened last year. And I know that team had its fallout for various reasons, and it lost both coordinators. That's very different. Didn't have a defense that is nearly on the level of Seattle's, but the offense did take a hit minus Johnson. I think this offense minus Kubiak, especially after he, turned Sam Darnold from this journeyman quarterback that would crap his pants in the biggest moments into a Super Bowl champion, and rather decisively so. JSN is still JSN. He's incredible. I don't know that he's going to be as incredible. And certainly the run game without Kenneth Walker, without Zach Charbonnet for at least a little while, even if you are a believer that Jadarian Price is going to be awesome and be in the mix for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I do believe that, by the way, he's still a rookie. He still could get off to a slow start. I mean, think about the way we were talking about Ashton Genty at this point last year and what he looked like during his rookie year. Now, different circumstances, different offensive lines, all of that, certainly, but Price may be in for a little bit of an adjustment. And if Charbonnet is not ready for week one, if he is still working his way back, that's some outside of George Halani, bell cow type responsibilities that you are just handing a rookie in what could be a brand new looking offense. So again, my crazy take, because people think it's nuts, including Warren Moon when I talked to him the other day, again, name drop, I think this team is going to miss the playoffs. I do. I think the Rams are going to coast. I think the Niners, hopefully with McCaffrey, are going to be fine. I think Seattle is going to be on the outside looking in. It's going to come down to the wire. But again, maybe we'll go through the schedule and I'm going to find 12 wins for this team and I'm going to look like an idiot.
I do agree with your point about the offense, Adam. I think it's very important because, one, Clint Kubiak was not only great at his job and great in the offensive schemes he designed, but he was very much a seasoned vet in this league. Like, he had an extensive resume that went back far in this league with multiple successful teams and multiple great offensive minds that he's worked with. You're bringing in a guy in Brian Fleury who really, I don't think, has the same level of experience, that's kind of had a place on some staffs all over the place. And you go from that, and not even just from Kubiak, but if you go back one further with who was it in Minnesota?
Kevin
Conner, yes, as the head coach, but even as the offensive coordinator, right? The guy that you were going to be working with as the QB. So much of the blocking, so much of the run blocking, and so much of a running back's duty can also just be in the blocking scheme. So I'm interested to see how all of that is really going to exist with so many changes now, right? No Kenneth Walker, possibly a unhealthy Charbonnet, and the new OC.
You said duty. Yeah, no, I mean, I've said it before as well. This is why these activities of us doing Dubs and L's has been great, because you kind of have your predetermined ideas about teams with the moves they've made in the offseason. And then you look at the schedule and you go, wonder if I agree with that sentiment after that. So we're going to go through it, Kaufman, like you just said, and see if we can find 11 wins for the Super Bowl champions. Before we do that, though, because I'm not going to forget, let's do the giveaway. Last chance to drop a dub in our chat to enter into a giveaway of our new Football is Greater Than hat. Drop a dub. Jackson is rolling. He's got the duckies ready to go. You ready to pull it up, big dog? He's ready. All right. Oh, we got to move. Let me move Sammy boy. Get out of the way, Sam. We don't want you here. All right. Click done. There you go. Look at all the duckies. Yep. Set. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's give away this hat. You guys ready to rumble?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Bang, bang, bang. Go for it.
I was waiting for the music.
Football!
Oh. Is it weird when I hear this song, I just picture the dude from The Sandlot doing his dance with his buddies now?
That's so awesome.
Oh my God, no, but I think that's what's going to happen to me now.
10 seconds. Stifler! No.
You
can't have this.
Stifler me. Take it.
Way, Stifler. Oh, it was the strawberry. It was always the strawberry. Congratulations, Stifler.
Stifler does not deserve good things.
Stifler, I know.
He's probably not even here.
Oh, so really well, Stifler? Really well? Huh? Is that what you're trying to say?
He's here. What's
Stifler,
that?
Congratulations, Stifler. We will be sending you a hat, or you can tell me what you want me to do with the coin like you did last time.
Whoa.
Shout out Stifler. I'd love to send you a hat, though. I'd love to have you actually have some betting news merch, but we can send me a DM. You know how it works. We appreciate you guys. As always, you can go to bettingnews.com/store to get involved with our new merch. If you didn't win the hat today, that's okay. Go buy yourself one. Make some coin. Buy yourself a Football is Greater Than hat or any of our other cool stuff as well. And don't forget, bet more unders. Yeah.
Stifler was mean to me on social media earlier, so he had actually he DM'd me. He wants you to send that hat to me. That's the request from Stifler.
That means that he likes you, Adam. So
Yeah.
he's like a sixth grade girl.
Yeah, when he's teasing you, it's actually his innocent flirting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Congrats, Stifler. All right, let's do the schedule. Week 1 against the Pats. Rematch the Super Bowl. I'm sure you know what you're going to say, Adam. It is a home game in Seattle. I think it's going to be a Seattle win.
I mean, it should be. It should be a Seattle win. But wouldn't it be fun in prime time to watch Drake May and AJ Brown just light up the field?
For sure.
I mean,
100%.
fun for you, yes.
Yeah, fun for you.
Fun for me.
I do think though, like if there's going to be offensive struggles, we're going to see it early on. And this Patriots defense is not one that you can just kind of coast against, especially with I think Gonzo on the outside there. It's going to be close, but I would say yeah, Seahawks at home opener, post Super Bowl. The vibes are going to be incredibly high. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, they will.
All right, let's go Seattle win here. So 1-0 to start the season. Should be a good one, obviously, to start the year. Next up, on the road in Glendale, taking on the Cardinals. First of 2 against the Cardinals. I think they win here too, boys.
2-0. I can see a Cardinals sweep, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. Again, I think the Cardinals are going to be a fun watch and put up a lot of points and be one of those teams on red zone that are just going to be, popping up from time to time, giving you a whole bunch of late window highlights. But yeah,
McBride just scored his 3rd touchdown of the game. The Cardinals are down 42-21.
Yeah. Precisely. Yeah, they are not going to win many games. So Seattle, you should be able to pencil in the Seahawks for 2 against Arizona.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, so then 2-0 going into Washington next week on the road in our nation's capital. I think they win this game too.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm hoping for better Jaden Daniels this year, but
just join me on the Commanders under 7.5 wins, Adam.
Join around that team now that it's like all distraction off a terrible year. All the aura that they had from year 1 has been lost.
So much aura.
No Tunsil either, which is really going to be.
Yeah, no Tunsil. Oh my God. Pray for Jaden Daniels.
No. Well, okay. Fine. All right. Chargers next up, week 4 at home, taking on the Chargers. Great game. This would be a good one. L?
I think they win this one too. I'm not high on the Chargers.
Wow. Okay.
I'm high on the Chargers. I'm going to go L.
All right, you're outvoted, V. So L for the first L of the season. So 3-1 now, going into the divisional matchup with the Niners at home. I think they split with the Niners. I don't know how it goes about. So should we give them the home game?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, so 4-1 now, taking on the Broncos. Short week, Thursday night football. Where? Mile High.
Denver. I'll take Denver. If it was in Seattle, I would take Seattle. I'll take Denver at Denver.
Yeah,
I agree with that. All right, so 4-2
playing in Mile High. Rough.
Yeah, that's a brutal little situation. Okay, next up, at home, taking on Kansas City in Sunday Night Football. It's been another good game here. Patrick Mahomes most likely knocking off all the rusty cobwebs, and he should be good to go in this one as well. Kenneth Walker revenge game as well on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, man, at home, that's a tough one. I don't know. I want to say Hawks, but maybe the Chiefs win on the road. I don't know.
I'm gonna pick KC here. I might be talking myself into it, but
what do you think, Sauce Man?
How about this? You got KC and then you got Chicago. I think they're probably going to win one of those 2 games, and I'm not sure which one it is.
I think they win both of those games. Sorry, no, not both. I think they lose both of those. What the fuck am I saying? I keep looking at this from the Chiefs' perspective because I'm thinking of Kenneth Walker's revenge game. And the fact that he just played for Seattle is making my mind melt. But Kenneth Walker back in Seattle, a little bit of a narrative spot here. Could you not easily see him snag 2 touchdowns? Mahomes also going to be fucking running laps by this point in week 7 on that knee of his. So I think they could catch an L here. And then I think they win that Bears game on Monday Night Football.
So that was a long-winded way to say you agree with Adam.
Yes.
Okay.
My mind melted. Okay, it's not my fault.
Didn't you start by saying I think they're going to win both?
You just mental
I did, but I was
gymnastics
thinking
yourself.
Kent Walker winning 2 games. That's why.
I agree. I think that they split this somehow. And who knows how though. All right. So what does that put us at? 5-2?
Then they'll beat Arizona.
Yeah.
5-3. Okay.
5-3. Yeah.
5-3. All right. So then Arizona. So then there's a win. So 6-3. I think they beat the Raiders too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I hope not, but probably.
I think they probably do.
7-3 then. Now we
traveling
go
to Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now do we have our Niners loss?
Off a bye. They're coming off a bye here taking on the Niners in Santa Clara.
See, I almost think it's more likely. It doesn't matter, right? But I think it's more likely San Francisco wins the first one when it's theoretically healthier. And by this point in the year, all the Niners are going to be hurt, and Seattle will win.
At this point of the year, all the Niners are hurt.
True.
So they might be healthy by week 12.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I mean, we gave them we split it earlier, so I think they give them a loss
yeah.
and flip it the other way around, whatever you want to do it. All right, so 7-4 then, right, Beast?
Yeah.
7-4. Okay. Monday Night Football hosting Dallas.
Outside of Jerry's world, we know what happens to Dak.
Yeah, I'll go Seattle win here.
Yeah. I would feel differently in Dallas, but
Me too.
Sure. Me too. Interesting game. All right, so there's 8-4. Giants at home. That's a win.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Yep. 9-4. On the road now in Philadelphia. This could have a lot of implications for the NFC playoff race at this point for both of these teams. Could be for the number 1 seed, depending on how things are going in the season.
Sure.
I'll go win just because I don't believe in the Eagles this year, but this is a tough one.
I'm choosing to believe in the Eagles, but it could be my bias.
I don't know, man. I don't believe in the Eagles. I don't
believe in the Eagles either. I'm choosing to believe in the Eagles in this spot.
I don't love their head coach. I don't love the offense. I don't love Jalen Hurts. I think AJ Brown is way more beneficial to be on the Pats than he was negatively impacting the Eagles, if you know what I'm trying to say. But on the road, maybe an L. I don't know. I think this is a hard game because of the implications. It's late in the season, and you have the Rams twice. You can't lose this game. I think I give it to the Seahawks.
The look-ahead spot for Christmas Day taking on the Rams is interesting, but I think the Seahawks win too.
6 days too. Like, it's not a short week, but it's not a full week.
Right. For it's a sense of the battle of the birdies, let's go with Seahawks, and Adam can be sad. So what is that? 9-4, Beast? 10-4. Really?
That's 10?
No way. Really? Yeah. Okay. 10-4.
Being too kind to this team.
Rams on Christmas Day in Seattle. God, this is on paper just going to be such an awesome game. Could decide the division. Could decide who wins the number 1 seed in the NFC. Could mean absolutely jack shit but one of these teams is not very good. But very doubtful.
If the Rams win this game with if this is their the Seahawks win this game, if this is their 11th win, what are the chances that they lock up the division here with a win here and then don't have to play the next 2?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly, if you're thinking about being an over better on Seattle, even though what is it, 9.5? So I 10.5. All right, so it could get sweaty, even though I think we probably believe they're going to beat Carolina. But when it comes to these 2 meetings, like, could the Rams sweep? Of course, but there is a very real possibility that Week 18 game is meaningless, and that Seattle's fighting for a playoff spot. So. Yeah. I mean, look, it's hard to not. You could very easily find 11 or 12 wins on this schedule, but I think when you do so, at least 12 anyway, you're kind of looking at more like ceiling outcomes.
Yeah.
Because Seattle's going to lose a game it's not supposed to lose, like every team does. And we're pretty much giving them all of the
gimmies,
all the wins that they shouldn't necessarily have or should be on the fringes of. And so, yeah, I wonder. So again, 10.5. Now the way I'm thinking about betting it as we do this in real time is if they start 3-0, which obviously Patriots, Cardinals, Commanders is very possible. I wonder what that in-season total looks like, and then going under that number.
You mean if it like pops up to 12.5 or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, to finish off, like I think we can all agree with what's left on the schedule, they probably go 2-3, and that's or 2 out of 3. They win 2 out of 3. If we say they split with the Rams and then beat the Panthers,
that gets them over this. But it's like
yes, it does.
The possibility of getting swept by the Rams. Like if they lose that first
Very
one,
real.
and Week 18 becomes a meaningful game for both teams, then all of a sudden the chance of getting swept is even. I don't know. This is the toughest division in football right now.
I think we can agree that, as Adam mentioned, the 12 wins would be the ceiling. And I mean, 9, 8 maybe is the floor.
Yeah. Like that Bears game could get interesting too. We gave them a win there, right?
Yeah.
We gave them a sweep on the Cardinals, right?
They
We
could
also
lose
gave
week
them-
1 against the Pats.
easily against the Cowboys too. I know we don't love them on the road, but like the Cowboys aren't going to go fucking 0-8 or on the road, right? They're not going to lose every road game.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely some room for some, as we've discussed.
Sprinkled in there too in Vegas.
That's interesting too.
I don't know.
What I can totally say, I don't want to bet the under, which 10.5. I know we talked about this directly after the Super Bowl, Adam, and we were all pretty gung-ho that this was going to be a fun under to sweat this season. But I think the number is set accordingly. But I definitely do not want to bet the over.
I don't want to bet the over. I mean, I understand why people would be resistant to bet the under, but I don't want to bet the over.
This total I feel is very set accordingly, and maybe all right. So what I could say is that maybe if you, instead of taking the over 10.5 wins, just take them to win the West plus 215.
Yeah,
I could see some value in that. I do. I could see some value in that.
Because if they're winning 11 games / 12 games, the only way they're not winning the division if the Rams win like 14 or 15 games, which could be possible with their roster. But one of those last 2 games of the regular season against that Rams team is going to decide the division if everything plays out the way that we're thinking it's going to with these 2 teams. So, if they're going to get some value on them at plus 215, you could hedge it out later, maybe if you wanted to. But the 10.5 feels appropriately set.
It does feel very appropriate.
All right, chat. There you go. Seattle Seahawks. Let's see if they can repeat their magic from last year.
Do you guys at least root with me throughout the year against Seattle?
Oh yeah, I have no problem rooting against Seattle.
I agree with you that I think the regression train is going to come, but until proven otherwise, I think we need to at least accept it. I was awesome. I love JSN last year. Bet him a lot.
Yeah,
loved watching him
every week.
He was fantastic. I really think he's going to have I don't want to say a pedestrian season, but I think 1,100 yards is like where he's going to land this year. I don't think we see 1,700 again next year from him like we saw last year.
New offensive coordinator is always going to be a struggle, but and I'm a big Drake May fan, so I will be cheering with you. Just that's tough to do for the Patriots because I can't stand that team. But Drake May, awesome.
Gerald, did you hear that, Gerald? You hear that? Appreciate you guys tuning in to your afternoon bet espresso right here on the Betting News Network. Had some fun talking football, some news as we get closer to the preseason week 2 around the corner. Broke down the Seahawks and obviously talked the bets for tonight. Parlay scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you want to get involved with some fun tonight. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow on the Betting News Network. Give us a follow and a subscribe across all the platforms so you get all the content live every single day. Shags will be live in the morning for the morning spread at 11 o'clock Eastern, the new time. And then these 2 lads will be back with you guys on the screen for Bet Espresso tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern with Mr. PJ Glasser, with Adam's new fantasy teammate. Have you guys talked about a name yet?
No, he brought it up, and I think we agreed that it's going to maybe wait and depend a little bit on who winds up on the team, so we can have a nice pun in there or something like that.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, or you just pick a team name and then commit to drafting that player. Like,
see, I don't. That's like March Madness, like picking a team because of its mascot kind of thing. You gotta draft for need, not need to draft.
Adam's locked in.
Are you guys gonna fight over whether you draft Drake May or Lamar Jackson?
Look, I think we'd be very lucky to have either one.
Oh, that's good. Teammate.
I think both are
It's
very
good team talk.
It's good team talk.
Team chemistry just went up 20 points right now.
Hey, I do want to mention on our way out the door,
please.
by the way, some of you.
Big news for Mr. Kaufman.
I almost forgot. Some of you may have seen on the socials that I have joined USA Today to help grow and lead its sports betting and fantasy coverage. Thank you. We'll still be here in the BNN streets hanging out with these guys. And obviously, as we get a little closer to the football season, SPJ and I will talk about what that schedule looks like. But eager to continue to bring you Any Given Wager. And hopefully it's a nice, profitable season for all of us across all the betting streets. But, heavy football focus, obviously, to start. But we'll be mixing in some other sports as well. But there is a newsletter. That is launched, and I tweeted out a link with how you can subscribe to it if you want me in your inbox a few times a week. So appreciate that. Yeah, I know.
I know everybody's been wondering how to get Adam in their inbox.
That's where B says pause. Phrasing.
Pause. Yeah. No, congratulations, dude.
Thank
you deserve it. Glad to obviously have you still working with us here at Betting News, but glad to see you doing all the awesome work across all the other platforms as well. So glad you dropped that for the kids. Go follow Adam. Go get involved with the newsletter you can find in his inbox. And as Adam said, we will have some information soon about the return of Any Given Wager this season. It will be the recorded version on YouTube that you guys can get every single week. As Kaufman and I go through every single slate of the NFL season as we get back. We might even have to get the clown hat back out. Maybe we'll see.
You guys had a lot of fun last year with that stuff, so maybe.
All right now. Appreciate Beast McNeese down below pressing the 1s and 2s. Thanks for hanging out with us, chat. We appreciate you. You guys came to winners. You stayed for the vibes. Have a fantastic Tuesday night. Let's cast this parlay, boys. Let's have some fun.
Do it.
We'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about